You're rocking with King Troll. And I'm your boy, just call me Monty, a.k.a. King Gigawatt. P, just call me Monty. Back with an intro that make your head turn. Wave gang, making it happen. When will they ever learn that we stay strapped with the heat? Some all mass burn and I'm just here to assist. Like Steve Nash, turn back? Nah, never. I'm a goat with the intros. King Troll, EBL shooting, so get low. Squad so exclusive, if you ain't, then it don't matter. Right there's your home run when we pitch like a nice batter. It's battle rap, and when it comes to that, we go talk. Exclusive battle league, man, they think it's a cakewalk. Until they come to battle and get smoked by a killer. Stop sleeping on the league, bet not come with mad filler. We out here, see I move different, just say the word. Call me David with that slingshot, throwing them angry birds. Yes, King Jigger, I'm just talking, so pay attention. This is just the intro, but me snapping was my decision. Wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Anybody sleeping on us, we gon' put them to bed. It's wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Don't get it twisted, dread like you got something to dread. It's wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Anybody sleeping on us, we gon' put them to bed. It's wave gang all day, yeah, you heard what I said. Don't get it twisted, dread like you got something to dread.
Nacho Sundays, every Sunday at 6 p.m. Live on YouTube on the EBL Exclusive Battle League Network. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays, Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, nacho Sunday.
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not
Sunday.
your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion.
Nacho
Hosted by
Sunday.
Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme,
Nacho Sundays. Where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. Hosted by Fibonacci Brown.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho cheese, beefy, nacho veggie, nacho supreme, nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Hosted by Fibonacci Brown. Don't forget to go to FibonacciBrown.com to get your copy of Growing Down.
Nacho Sundays. Nacho Sundays.
Brought to you by the exclusive Battle League Network. EBL. What up, dope family? How the heck are you on this Sunday? I want to welcome you to Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And this is the 19th episode. Y'all, we are 19 episodes in, and I must say I'm really excited to be here. I didn't know where I thought Nacho Sundays was going to go, but I am certainly glad to be here with you guys on the 19th episode. We definitely have some good things in our Nacho to devour this Sunday, and I can't wait to get into those things with you. So you know how we do. If you are a Nachotarian, you know to start the show off. We begin with our announcements, and then we devour our nacho, starting with the nacho cheese. So let's talk about our announcements. First and foremost, make sure you guys are heading over to FibonacciBrown.com. That is where you will be able to purchase your copy of my book, Growing Down, the observation and masculinization of the Black American woman. That's at FIBONACCIBROWN.com to get your copy of Growing Down the Observation of the Masculinization of the Black American Woman. I still have this book at the introductory price. So if you want to take advantage of that price, please make sure you head over to FibonacciBrown.com to get your copy. And also make sure that once our very own EBL Dave is back from vacation, you are subscribed to the exclusive Battle League so that you can catch his show Wave and Blaze every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 in the morning, the best morning show on the internet. Dave is also going to be going live on Kick and Rumble, so be able to catch him on all those platforms. Let me be the first to explain that if you don't show up to Wave and Blaze for any other reason than to see the first hairline held up by its very own kickstand, you will definitely want to be up front and center on Wave and Blaze at 7 in the morning. So if you don't show up for any of the great news, the great topics, the great guests that get pulled up onto the panel, show up for Dave's hairline. It comes with its own kickstand. Once you see it, you can thank me later. But I'm telling you nothing but hardcore facts. Those who show up to the show know for a fact I'm telling the truth. Moving on, make sure that you also are here every Sunday to check out Nacho Sundays with me, Fibonacci Big Nacho Brown. I'm here every Sunday at 6 p.m. where we devour a really good nacho, talking about things that affect this world that we live in and how we can make it a better place for us. Also, some of the behind the scenes that goes on in our EBL family, we have audio and sound engineers or audio and video engineers who are definitely a big part of how a lot of the things and the goings on happen around EBL. They help those things tick. So one of those is going to be our very own Commodity. Please make sure you check out Commodity and his talents over at Commodity Productions. He handles a lot of our sound and video engineering. Also, make sure that you are checking out viciouslyinfamous.beatstars.com. That's where you can see some of the work from Viciously Infamous. In addition to making beats, he also does some audio and video engineering behind the scenes. So make sure you check that out. Also, I want to give a very big shout out to EBL's very own King. Happiest of birthdays to you, sir. He celebrated a birthday yesterday. He is finally old enough to drink. So happy 21st birthday, King. I wish you the best and many, many, many more. And I want to give a very, very special shout out to ReadySetMedia.net. I had the pleasure, along with 21 Illuminous, to be the focus of an interview they did. And I am definitely honored to be a part of their documentary that they are filming. So special shout out to ReadySetMedia.net. That would be Velas and his partner, which is his son, who I understand is also an artist. Shout out to both of them. So with that being said, y'all, it's time to get into our chat. Let's see who has pulled up to hang out with us this Sunday, and then we're gonna be ready to start devouring our nacho. So I also want to say that if you have clicked on the earlier Fibonacci Brown Nacho Sundays link, there were some technical difficulties with that link. I wanted to make sure that everything that was supposed to be linked to this live and this broadcast was linked properly and correctly, and that wasn't the case with that first broadcast. So if you've linked or clicked on that and are somewhat confused about what's going on, that would be my apologies. I do hope that you did find your way over here to continue hanging out with us on Sunday and devouring our nacho. So yes, in our chat today, I see Nicole Birch is here with us. Thank you so much for pulling up, Nicole. Please make sure you hear her in capital letters. Hit the like, share the live, and make sure that you are mentioning Nacho Sundays on your platforms. I appreciate you, Nicole. Salute to you, beautiful. Thank you, Jay Normus, for pulling up to hang out with us on Nacho Sundays. And my favorite, y'all. Hey, 2-1. Thank you. Thank you for pulling up to Nacho Sundays. Scripture volume is in the chat. Thank you for pulling up to Nacho Sundays. So we are getting ready to get right into it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And this is the 19th episode. I'm so excited. And to start off our nacho, we are going to get into the nacho cheese. And if you are a nachotarian, you know that the nacho cheese is our money matters, things we can discuss or talk about to find ways to make our money work for us. So in this episode of Nacho Cheese, Money Matters, we are going to talk about jobs that offer paid training. Now, maybe some of you guys have maybe you're considering switching careers. Maybe you're considering maybe just doing some other line of work, as you may not be as interested in your current line of work as you were maybe when you first started it. So with a lot of the positions available now since COVID-19 being remote, many people find themselves wanting to be more open about exploring other job opportunities. The problem is that they are not able to take the unpaid gap between the start of training and the first paycheck. So what I thought would be a great idea is to maybe find some opportunities where if you're looking for a job, you can be paid to learn something new and make that transition from one position to another a little bit more comfortable. So for starters, Amazon offers paid training for a remote position in customer service. Now, from what I understand, the customer service role can cover a plethora of different customer role services. So you will have to be able to go on to the Amazon career section for remote opportunities and select the customer service role that best suits you. Some of them are phone active, some of them are chat active, some of them are both, some of them are neither. So just check it out over on Amazon. See if you can find a remote opportunity in the customer service position that best suits you. And again, this would be a paid training. So you will get paid to learn what you need to know to be able to do your job effectively. I also found out that Apple also offers a remote opportunity with paid training, and that paid training lasts for 7 weeks. So over the course of 7 weeks, in their they have what's called a remote Apple home advisor. So if you are looking on Apple Careers and you are looking to see what they have available by way of remote opportunities, to check out this particular opportunity that I'm talking about, you're looking for a remote Apple home advisor. And in this remote Apple home advisor position, it is a paid training for 7 weeks. And in addition to being paid training, this position also offers a free laptop. So not only will they pay you to learn what you're supposed to do, but they're going to give you the equipment to do it effectively. So I would consider that one a bonus in the list of paid training positions. So again, that is the remote Apple home advisor position. Head over to the Apple website to look at their careers and look for that position so that you can take advantage of the home take advantage of the paid training and the free laptop. Lastly, I'm going to mention the Hyatt hotel chain. They have something called a guest service associate, where they provide the computer, they provide an IP phone, and they also provide an amplifier headset in addition to their paid training. Now, this program is for 14 weeks, so it's a little longer than the previous position I talked about. But again, not only are you getting paid training, you are going to get a laptop, IP phone, and amplifier headset. So you're getting a fully outfitted equipment paid training to take advantage of this position. So that's the Hyatt Hotel. So if you are definitely looking for a remote position and you want to find something that's gonna, maybe give you a bit of a financial cushion in order to take advantage of their opportunities, you want to look at what Amazon, Apple, and Hyatt Hotel have to offer by way of paid training and free laptops. So I hope that you guys can take advantage of this information. And if you are taking advantage of some of the things that happen that I happen to mention on the Nacho Cheese segment of the show, come back to Nacho Sundays and let us know. I would love to hear that some of these money tips have worked for you guys. You're taking advantage of these things. That would really, like, warm my heart to let me know that some of this stuff is working for you, because I do try to help it be in one space for you. I try to help it be easily accessible in one place. So if these nacho cheese tips are helping you get some extra cheese in your pocket, come back over to Nacho Sundays. Hit me up in the chat. Make sure you let me know that it's working for you. Now, the next two subjects we're going to talk about in our Nacho this Sunday, let me definitely give my disclaimer to let you guys know this is Nacho Sundays, whereas Nacho opinion is Nacho's opinion. And we're going to move into the beefy nacho. Okay. Now, in the beefy nacho, if you are a nachotarian, you understand that the beefy nacho is where we talk about conflict wherever it may exist in the world. And this week in the beefy nacho, we are going to talk about the United States beef with Black women. Now, hold on. I know you're getting ready to fire off how I'm whining and fire off how, here I go. But let me just give you some pointers on why I say what I say. Now, I'm going to name some things that are happening to Black women. And I just want to, matter of fact, I'm going to put it out there just like that. Maybe I'm tripping, but I'm going to name some things that make it seem like the United States has beef with the Black woman. And you tell me if I'm tripping. So Nachotarians, help me out here. I'm looking at, now, as many of you know, I mentioned at the top of the show, I am a published author. I have written a book called Growing Down: The Observation of the Masculinization of the Black American Woman. And in that book, I discuss many of the ways that I believe Black women in this country are being systematically masculinized. So that's one thing. The second point I want to make is the exploitation of the Black woman, Henrietta Lacks. Science has made a complete memo of this woman, to say the least, and they have sent parts of her DNA everywhere, probably excluding Mars, and no regard for her genetic respect, no regard for her family. And I just don't understand why they, as a system, thought it was okay to do what they did with her genetic material. Now, if you're not familiar with who Henrietta Lacks is, please do yourself the treat to look up Henrietta Lacks, Google it when you have time, and see what they've done with this woman's DNA and her cell makeup, her cellular makeup. It's just wrong how they did this woman and did not give any regard to her family legacy or bloodline. Planned Parenthood. Many of you know what Planned Parenthood is. Planned Parenthood is a facility that will help women not necessarily plan a family, but plan to destroy a family. That is where women in many women in urban communities go to get abortions. And what people don't understand is detrimental to the Black woman about that facility is that those facilities frequently are placed at a rate of 70+% in or near urban communities. Well, who populates urban communities? Women who look like me and women who are browner than me. So why is it that this facility is closer to where a concentration of women of color reside? And if you aren't trying to encourage those women to destroy those bloodlines, why put them in an area where there's no such demand? So therefore, there must have been a demand to create something like that. And I'm not entirely sure that the demand came from the community that these facilities are in. Another thing I want to bring up is I've been seeing a lot of I don't know if you can quite call them commercials, but advertisements about the perm industry, women who suffered ovarian cancers, fibroids, and who also were using hair perms. Apparently, putting these like hair perms to straighten your hair on your hair have had a penetrating effect on the brain and on the body of many women of color who tried to straighten their hair, and they have developed uterine cancers, uterine fibroids, among other reproductive challenges. Again, this is something concentrated to Black women. You're not going to find a lot of non-white women buying perm to straighten their hair. So this is something exclusive to Black women. And I also observed the use of what I'm calling deadly contraception such as Norplant, deadly contraception such as Depo-Provera. So with masculinization, the Henrietta Lacks exploitation, the abortion, destruction of the womb, the perms trying to destroy us from the brain down, Depo-Provera and Norplant contraception destruction. I just have one question: what's beef? Like, what does it look like? Are we gonna call it what it is? You know, again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion, and in my opinion, that's beef. Like, why are there so many of these big systems working to attack the Black woman in her womb? What's going on? Why us? And it makes me beg the question: who stands to gain by seeing or having the Black woman destroyed? And let me stop you, ladies, because I know some ladies are out there with their mouth fixed to talk about the Black man. Let me tell you something. We fail, the person that's going to win, or the group of people that's going to win from our failure, is not Black men. It's not. So again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And you might not agree with me, but in my opinion, it's not Black men. So who stands to gain if Black women fail? And this is not a concise list of things that I feel demonstrate a systematic attack on Black women, but it definitely is a start. You know, I've named, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've named 5 or 6 really good reasons that you might want to take a step back and say, hold on, what's going on? Why in the world are there so many, like, what Gargamel-like villain is in the top of Castle Grayskull concocting these mass rollouts of the destruction of Black women in their wombs? Abortion clinics, exploitation of genetics, deadly perms that you apply literally right on top of your brain. It makes you wonder. And then the deadly contraception. This one contraception called Norplant. First of all, let me explain that I didn't even know they were still using Norplant. Okay. And some of the things that I've heard about what Norplant does as a contraceptive. First of all, let me explain. Norplant is a system. It is a contraceptive system. So let that marinate. This is not a medication. You don't take a pill. You know, it's not a IUD. It's a contraceptive system of small rods placed under the skin that release a hormone over a number of years. Okay. So this system that releases hormones under your skin over a number of years tends to have side effects that, from what I'm finding, adversely affect one group of women over another. So if you tend to be a woman of color, especially of what is typically classified as African American woman, you tend to see more occurrences of these side effects than other women. So some of these side effects include, again, this is Norplant birth control side effects. The Norplant system can potentially have side effects of abnormal periods, pelvic pain, hair growth changes. Now, please understand that hair growth changes is not necessarily just on the hair on your head. It's not necessarily a thinning of hair. It could be an overgrowth in hair where you're not normally used to seeing hair. Maybe you might grow hair on your chin, or a mustache, or abnormal hair growth on your arms that's thicker than normal, or on your legs that's thicker than normal. So hair growth changes. Please understand the language there. It's not like hair loss, which would typically refer to the hair on your head. It's hair growth changes. Ab pain, I think I mentioned pelvic pain, headache, depression, acne, breast tenderness, among other things. So this is with Norplant. I have to ask the question, is the side effect or side effects worth the hormone telling your body over a number of years that it doesn't want to be pregnant? Is it worth it? And I'm asking that question as a seasoned woman. I don't know if maybe as a younger person in this day and age, it might be worth it to explore that. I know that when I was a younger person and this was introduced, it was no way. I was totally all right with not doing it. But circumstances have changed, behaviors between people as far as sex and sexuality have changed. So I'm not sure if there are a lot of women willing to take the risk of putting something under their skin that releases a hormone over a number of years in order to avoid pregnancy. So I just want to know, why is this even approved on FDA? And if in addition to that, why is this something marketed to women of color, Black women? Why are we encouraged to use this stuff? Because the encouragement of this hormone releasing contraceptive is concentrated with Black women. This is not what you see with non-Black women when they go to discuss parent planning. Okay. So I'm just wondering, what's the beef? I feel like Biggie Smalls. What's beef? Beef is when you send your mans to start your Jeep. Like, you only do that when you're concerned that somebody's out to get you. And I don't know how else to make it plain that they're out to get Black women in a way that attacks their wombs and attacks their reproductive health. And I just don't understand why these things are even accessible with the information that's available to look up studies and things on this particular topic. I don't know how many of these dots we have to keep connecting before we treat it like a war on us. What does it have to look like before we start to think that there are things we need to do to protect ourselves? I want to be protected against somebody exploiting my DNA and destroying what could be potential gold for my bloodline and legacy. I want to protect myself against a system of people who think that as a strategic measure, it's all right to place abortion clinics near the communities I live in. I want to protect myself from deadly contraception like Norplant and Depo-Provera. And I want to know how to protect my femininity and not have it altered and changed by people who want to call me everything but a woman, anything but a woman, anything but something that describes a feminine woman. I don't want to be a bad bitch. I'm good. I don't want to be a baddie. I'm good on that. I like opulence, elegance, grace. So I have to protect myself against so much as a woman. And I'm just wondering why so many systems to get me and people that look like me. Why so many systems? What's going on? Why? So, that's more of a thought provoke than anything. I would love to find out your thoughts on what you think the issue is. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm willing to entertain that. I would love to have some conversation on how I might be overthinking it. But, let's say I'm not overthinking it. Why us? What's going on and what are we going to do about it? And right at this point, everybody, we are going to go over to some of our sponsors and give thanks to them. And we will be right back.
We appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure
A woman is the most potent expression of feminine energy in the harmonic equation of the human experience. Growing Down, an observation of the masculinization of the Black American woman, Volume 1. Get your copy at FibonacciBrown.com.
you are now listening to the Nacho Podcast, brought to you by the EBL Network. If it ain't exclusive, it don't matter. It's not your time to talk, it's time to listen. So pull up to the table with your plate and pay attention. It's not your time to talk, not your Sunday. It's something different. This is not your opinion, and you don't wanna miss it. It's not your time to talk. It's time for the show.
Welcome back, everyone, to Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho Opinion, it's Nacho's Opinion. I am your host, Fibonacci Big Nacho Brown, and this is the 19th episode. So you are right in the middle. If you are just joining us, you're right in the middle of our nacho. We just talked about nacho cheese and our beefy nacho, and piggybacking on something we talked about in the beefy nacho, we are going to go over to our veggie nacho. And as many of you already know, and especially my nachotarians, you guys know that the veggie nacho is where we talk about health. And in the veggie nacho this week, we are talking about the contraceptive shot Depo-Vera and its effect on women's health. I was clearly doing some research on the beefy nacho when I was talking about, what's the US's beef with the Black woman? And I came across some detail about these contraceptives that have been marketed towards specifically Black women that seem to be destructive to their reproductive health in a detrimental way, as well as other health challenges that were unforeseen when it came to using this as a contraceptive option. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the Depo-Vera shot. This shot for short is called Depo. Depo is birth control in the form of a shot injection that you get every 3 months. In addition to preventing pregnancy, it helps to manage medical conditions related to the menstrual cycle. So this birth control is a menstrual cycle disruptor so that it can manipulate the natural body functions that encourage and support pregnancy. This particular contraceptive, let me explain that. When I first was introduced to Depo-Vera, this had to be over 20 years ago. I literally laughed at my husband when I heard him mention Depo, like nobody uses that anymore. He's like, are you sure? And when I did some research, sure enough, not only are women using this, but they are suffering some detrimental side effects from the use of this particular contraception. So much so that I felt this needed its own discussion in Nacho Sundays. So this Depo-Vera shot, many women have been taking this shot that are specifically Black women, and they are experiencing not only horrible side effects, but when discussing these side effects with their general practitioners, they are not taken seriously. And I can't understand why this is even on the market as a contraceptive option. Some of the things that I found out in researching Depo-Provera, per the Mayo Clinic, the Depo-Provera shot may cause stroke, increased cholesterol, and increased blood pressure. Now, that's just the beginning of what challenges a woman can face taking this particular contraceptive option. But specifically in Black women, because they tend to already have, on average, higher blood pressure, or higher than what is considered normal blood pressure, a contraceptive option that increases that can have an adverse effect on her that might not necessarily be observed in initial studies. This particular contraception also it increases estrogen, which will spike or encourage high cholesterol. So that automatically caught my attention. That automatically was a concern, and I was led further down the rabbit hole. A lot of times what I like to do when I'm doing research, I want to try to find out from actual people talking about that particular subject, what they're saying in their comments, because usually in the comments they're being candid, if it's not a bot, but they're being candid and trying to give some firsthand experience. So yeah, I put in hashtag Depo on Facebook. And boy, did I find the thread that women are talking about. Not only are they experiencing extensive menstrual cycles, but they are gaining significant weight in a very short period of time. Women who are gaining upwards of 30 plus pounds in less than 6 months just being on this shot. Women who are losing their hair, experiencing balding or thinning in their hair. And this is something that they didn't experience prior to getting this shot. When you hear that you may experience abnormal periods or some abdominal cramping as a side effect, there is also a list of side effects when you take this Depo shot that are not talked about. Now, again, if you are tuned in right now, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And in my opinion, we need to talk about Depo. Nobody is talking about this, and I think we need to. And when it comes to the Depo shot, there are side effects not discussed, you guys. And some of those side effects include hair loss, weight gain, constant period. Now, when they say abnormal period, I'm not talking about if you go for 6 days, you might go for 3. Or if you go for 5 days, you might go for 10. I came across women discussing their experience with this shot who have had periods that have gone on consistently for upwards of 3 or more months. I read detail from women who had a period that went for 6 months, 5 months. I think one woman said 9 months, just a constant period, constantly bleeding. If you are concerned at all at the resilience of a woman, know that you might be among a woman who's been bleeding for 9 months and she's still here going to work every day, fixing dinner, cleaning her house, and trying to maintain her sanity. All because she's trying to control and be responsible when it comes to her reproductive decisions. In addition to those symptoms, long-term or some of the women explained how it took a long time for them to get back to a regular cycle once they decided they no longer wanted to be on that birth control. So even returning back to normal was a challenge that didn't necessarily happen within a year or even within 2 years for some women. Some women experienced trouble getting pregnant after they made the choice that they did want to decide to have a family. So when they made the decision to not have a family at the moment, trying to be in control of that choice, it's almost like the choice was taken away from them because what they were using to manage pregnancy has totally taken away the pregnancy option. And again, these are side effects of the depot shot. I read a study that said in 2013, listen to this. In 2013, people who got the shot who were under the age of 35 and or older, they had a 129% increase in breast cancer. Now, this was in 2013. So if you've gotten a shot 2013 and after, this study said that if you were over 35 and you had been on the shot or consistently are using the shot, you may run an increased risk to the tune of 129% of breast cancer. Now, I don't understand why so much has to be at risk as far as a woman's health when it comes to being able to manage birth control. Men get a condom. They get a balloon. Women get womb destroying, hormone manipulating, skin implanted femininity destruction. Like just shoot me. And I'm laughing, but I'm trying to really wrap my head around some of the side effects to manage pregnancy and who they're being targeted to. Because I tell you who's not on Depot. I tell you who's not on Norplant, and it's those non-Black women. Okay, I see Troy is in my chat. I appreciate you pulling up this Sunday, Troy. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying, Troy. That's what I think. I'm not going to, again, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And you don't have to keep setting me on fire to let me know you don't like me. I can pick up what you're putting down. And as far as I could tell, increasing breast cancer at 129% just to be able to manage reproduction, that's not quite a fair trade. In addition to a 9-month period, hair loss and weight gain. What you doing to me? And it gets deeper. It definitely goes on. In addition to the breast cancer risk, headaches, ab pain, dizziness are also associated with the use of this shot. Now, let me bring up a study done by probably your favorite non-doctor doctor and mine, Bill Gates. This is the statistic that, or not statistic, but this is the data that really snatched my attention. The Gates Foundation in 2011 showed that the Depot shot increases HIV rates among African American women to more than double. So with that said, they knew over a decade ago that this shot was detrimental specifically to Black women. But this was also specifically marketed towards Black women as a birth control option. So while you believe you have something that can put your reproduction on hold while you go and be sexually exploratory, you don't think that you are totally destroying your opportunities to make a family in the future. And then Bill Gates and his family of all people give you the study that Black women specifically who use the Depot shot as a contraceptive option increase their susceptibility to HIV to more than double. When the enemy shows you who they are, pay attention. Pay attention. Don't nothing say don't go get the Depot shot like it's going to increase your chances of catching HIV more than double. So this to me was more than concerning at so many factors of health that are at risk when it comes to being able to just manage reproduction. And the focus of these types of reproductive options being put on Black women in urban communities was just, it was baffling to me. So I go and look into more of what some of the side effects of the depot shot are. Chest pains, embolisms, allergic reactions that can span a gamut of symptoms, breast lumps or bleeding from the breast, abnormal blood chemistry. Tell me when the last time you picked up something that told you a side effect was abnormal blood chemistry. Now, this is Nacho Sundays, where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And yes, we on the 19th episode. And let me tell you that, in my opinion, if something is going to even find that they need to mention changing my blood chemistry, why do I have access to it like this? I'm not in that much of a hurry to not have babies. Like, I'm not. And I mean that as a reproducing woman. When this was introduced to me, that was not something I was willing to take in as a risk. Facial palsy. Now, if some of you aren't, say, I've heard that palsy word before. What is facial palsy? It's where you lose the muscle use in parts of your face. Okay. You can't raise your eyebrows. You can't move your lips. You can move one side and the other side has no muscle reception to be able to move with the rest of your face. So facial palsy, side effect of the depot shot. Abnormal growth of the uterus. I don't think that women are trying to have their uterus grow different just because they want to manage reproduction of children. So these are all side effects listed for contraceptives targeted at Black women. All of these effects on your entire body. That is like a crapshoot when you choose this as a reproductive management option. Why is this even so popular among Black women? Now, let me tell you, when I told you I did the hashtag on Facebook to try to find some of the threads where women were talking candidly about using the depot shot or having an experience with the depot shot, these women mentioned that a lot of them did not do the deep dive on it that they were supposed to. They did not look into it like they were supposed to. They didn't research it. What they heard was you get the shot and you don't get pregnant. And that's literally the extent of the research they did. And a lot of them are saying they wish that they would have researched more into what the side effects of this shot were. And just seeing how their lives have changed drastically in ways that they weren't prepared for, didn't anticipate. I think that a lot of the reason why this is such a popular option is because it's not gone into detail enough. It's not elaborated on. You just hear I can have sex and not get pregnant. Give it to me. Now, I wanna point out, and I might lose some of y'all on this. Hold on, you guys. Before I go any further, let me please acknowledge Dave in the chat. Dave is showing up in the chat. Our very own EBL Dave. He is the host of Wave and Blaze Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Thursday, where he definitely has the one and only hairline with its own kickstand on the internet. Hi, Trap Buddha. I appreciate you showing up to hang out with me this Sunday. Thank you so much. Dave said, does picking up my wife count as picking up something that has abnormal blood chemistry? When I call her and tell her you talking junk, I ain't got your back, Dave. I ain't got your back. Anywho, what I was going to get into, and mention is that when I talk about these side effects of getting this depot shot, I could not help but feel that some of these symptoms are strangely familiar. I've heard some of these symptoms in recent times. Now, mind you, the depot shot was approved way back in the 90s. So this has been around, but the side effects of this shot sound to me strangely familiar to side effects of another shot we have talked extensively about in recent times. I know some of y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. I'm talking about the ouchie. Y'all know what I'm talking about here on Nacho Sundays. It's Nacho's opinion, not your opinion. I don't want you to be mad. But yes, the side effects of what I read about Depo strangely remind me of the side effects that I heard some people were experiencing when it came to the ouchie. All versions, the booster, the second, all versions. Some of them had facial palsy. Some of them experienced abnormal bleeding. Some of them have been experiencing being sterile when it comes to reproduction or having their offspring have abnormalities when it came to their offspring. So I'm just wondering, what is when many times when the systems that govern us discover something, we as a society have to accept that sometimes there are going to be good uses and sometimes there are going to be bad uses. And they're not always going to tell us what all the bad uses are. They're just going to tell us enough of the good uses to get our support for it if they want to mass release it. So I kind of think that there are some elements of this depot shot that are definitely connected to elements of the ouchie that we got during C19. So, some of y'all might think I'm reaching, but I don't think so. So, again, this is Nacho Sundays where it's not your opinion, it's Nacho's opinion. And I really think that that shot should be avoided as a contraceptive option. As a woman, I think that it's necessary for me to at least talk about the inception of this drug, of this option, this contraception. The FDA approved. Okay, let me back up. From what I understand, Depo-Vera started its development in 1967. Okay, through studies of this shot and its effect on people, the FDA decided to release this shot in 1992. The problem with the studies that were done in the late 60s throughout up until 92 is that the 1967 Upjohn Pharmacia 11-year study that was done to get Depo approved for U.S. use was tested on unknowing Black and rural women who knew nothing of the drug or the side effects. So women were secretly experimented on by their healthcare physicians in order to participate in an 11-year study so that the FDA would be able to approve the use of Depo as a contraceptive in 1992. So when Depo came out in 92, that's around the time I was in high school. I would have heard about Depo. I would have been educated on Depo by my doctors, and I would have definitely looked into it to find out what it is. But once I heard some of the side effects from many of my friends who chose to use that as a contraceptive option, I saw my friends put on 30, 40 pounds in a matter of weeks, 6-7 weeks, 10 weeks. They 30 pounds heavier. And I'm like, there ain't that many French fries and chicken in the world. So I am really concerned that there is some systematic attack on women and their wombs, women and their need for proper health care for their wombs. I don't understand why there has to be so much fallout to control reproductive health in a woman. And particularly, I don't appreciate reproductive options being weaponized against women who are of color or Black women specifically who look like me. I think the most startling of things that I read today is the study from the Bill Gates Foundation in 2011. The fact that they identified that the depot shot increases a Black woman's susceptibility to HIV to more than double says to me that if you decided you wanted to do a bio attack on a specific type of woman, you've already identified something that makes her twice as vulnerable. So if there was something they wanted to aim specifically at Black women, the Bill Gates Foundation identified back in 2011 that, yep, there's something that'll do it. Now, if you have a loved one, if you have a woman, an auntie, a girlfriend, a sister, your mom, you have anybody who's trying to control their reproductive health and think that they are doing so by getting the depot shot, please talk to them about Nacho Sundays today. Please play this show back for them. Please share this show with your loved ones. Please make sure you encourage them to do their own research. If you like, they ain't gonna sit through no whole hour of my show, make sure you go back and at least just tell them to look into what they're taking, you know, as far as a contraceptive. This stuff could really be doing some awful things to their bodies, and it's not being talked about, it's not being discussed, and it's targeting a specific type of woman. So for me, the fact that they tested this drug out on unknowing women who they didn't tell what the side effects could be and who were specifically either rural or Black on principle, I can't deal with you. I don't even see how the FDA allowed something with that type of integrity to make it to market for mass use. Shame on y'all. Now, I know some of y'all are like, bump that. Depot does my body good. No babies over here, you know. If you feel that way, sis, understand I'm not trying to take away your opportunities to be sexually expressive as you want. However, I don't think that as an adult, I'm doing my due diligence if I don't encourage you to be healthy in those exploits. And if you are not educated on how you can be healthy, you don't know how to take advantage of opportunities to protect yourself. Protection can exceed not just having babies. You can protect yourself as far as your health. You can protect your hair, your skin, your weight, your hormones. I don't know if you guys listen to some of the things that I said this depot shot can do to you, but it's worth it to be educated first before you go ahead and let people just put something that can ideally make your blood abnormal. That's what it said. Abnormal blood chemistry. What else have we talked about that has had an abnormal blood chemistry? Switch up your RNA through a DNA shot much with a ouchie? Y'all want to talk about nanobots? So we're gonna go wait for next week because it's strangely similar, you guys. Strangely similar. I don't think that they are just out of anywhere developing new technology. I think they're capitalizing on what they already know, and whatever they were doing with that depot shot that caused all of these abnormal side effects, facial palsy, abnormal growth of uterus, breast bleeding or lumps, allergic reactions, chest pains, embolisms, hair loss, weight gain, constant period for months on end, a long time to get back to regular cycles. What else do you need? Not to mention the integrity that was compromised to even bring this shot to market. So if for no other reason, get yourself off of this shot, detox off of this shot. They'll destroy your whole body just to make sure you don't have kids. And that's not what you signed up for. I know it's not. You didn't sign up for hair loss just to not have kids and none of these other side effects. So with that said, we are going to move over to the last portion of our show. And in the last portion of our show, my Nachotarians know that is called the Nacho Supreme. And in the Nacho Supreme, we talk about supreme knowledge, things that can help us get through this thing called life, things that can help make life a little easier, things we wish we knew when we were younger. So this week's Nacho Supreme is about words, and words can hurt you. Okay. There was a saying when I was coming up called sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. You know what, guys? Let me put a pin in that. My chat is going bananas right now. Let me make sure I show my chat some love, because everybody knows on Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho Opinion, it's Nacho's Opinion. My chat is definitely a big part of my show. So Troy has pulled up for the long haul. I appreciate that. Make sure you guys are hitting that hashtag Troy and checking out some of his artistry. He is definitely a force to be reckoned with on the battle rap scene, especially as a representative of my hometown, Detroit. So shout out to him. And for those that need to know, he is the younger brother of Marv One. So shout out to that legacy and bloodline, making us look good. Dave is in the chat acting up. He must have pulled the kickstand back on his hairline, letting all his brain show. He wilding, y'all. Trap Buddha has pulled up with us. I appreciate you pulling up this Sunday, Trap Buddha. 21XL is in the chat. Yeah, Depo, he's saying, dang, Depo. And yes, Depo is really, it's not talked about enough of what can be done. And Trap Buddha, I see you in the chat making light saying, I just wear condoms. But what you might not even be understanding is that that's probably a healthier option for your mate, because considering the hormonal changes that she'd have to go through just to take Norplant, or the other bodily changes that she'd have to go through to do Depo-Provera, that's probably a safer option. Like, you know, you might be funny, but funny, not funny. Like, yeah, thank you. Dave is talking about I'm purposely dodging his comment. He likes showing out on Nacho Sundays in the chat. So sometimes I have to let him wild out by his lonely. I'm surprised he didn't pull up here. Normally, Dave, before he heads out to work, will come into the chat and give me a hard time for a little bit while we talk about some of the topics on the show. Troy is saying he can't see anybody else's comments. Troy, I'm going to ask you to go out and come back in. Sometimes that happens where I can see other people. I can't see other people's comments. I can only see my comments. But trust and believe, you are definitely in the mix of those who have shown up to take over the chat. Oh, my goodness. So Dave is saying, so the ouchie caused my hair loss. Dave, you... I'm not going to say it caused your hair loss, but I'm going to say it didn't encourage it. Now, you was already at halfway loading, you know, so anything after the halfway loading mark, like on your hairline, before, like anything before the kickstand on your hair, that is, you know, that you can't blame that on the ouchie. So whatever fell out after that, you might want to talk to somebody. The ouchie owe you some bread. You're going to find out, you know, one of these late nights when they say, if you tried such and such and so, you might be entitled to a compensation for $19.95 shipping and handling. You know how it goes. So, you know, you might be, you know, awarded some compensation for that. But anywho, I was getting ready to get into our Nacho Supreme. And in the Nacho Supreme, we talk about, like I said, the knowledge nugget, things that we can use to get through this thing called life, things we wish we knew when we were younger that we could tell our younger self. And in this episode of the Nacho Supreme, we're going to talk about the power of words. Words can hurt you. So I started off by saying sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. We have to be realistic about the power of what we say and what we speak over ourselves. If words had no power or couldn't hurt you or help you, then affirmations would have no power. Cheering somebody up would have no effect. Saying the wrong thing at a fragile point in somebody's life would have no effect. And we already know that's not true. So when we think about words, especially when we think about writing styles like cursive, linking those symbols together, those letters together to form words. That's called spelling. And when you are spelling things, you are speaking over something. So if you are saying something negative or speaking something negative, that can definitely have an impact on you as a person or on other people. So when you think about affirmations and being able to look yourself in the mirror and say positive things to yourself, one of the most powerful things you can ever hear is your own voice. So telling yourself something positive in the morning can definitely set your day on a trajectory to be positive. So if you are of a person who thinks that sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you, get fired. That's going to hurt, especially if that's your only source of income. Be fragile in a sad state and hear somebody constantly telling you, delete yourself, just go do it. That can have an impact on you. Be sad and have a friend come give you a hug and tell you it's going to be okay, and I'm going to hang out with you until you stop crying. That can have an impact on you. So be mindful of your words. Be mindful of the things you say. You can definitely impact someone's day or psyche one way or the other. Try to speak something kind over people. I like to think of myself as a word alchemist of sorts. And I pride myself on my communication and being able to talk to people, especially about difficult topics, difficult things to understand. I do try to love on people through my speech. So be mindful of what you say. Be mindful that your words could have an impact on someone, bad or good. But for the most part, I pray it's something good. So before we get out of here, I see that Dave has finally joined us on Nacho Sundays. Hello, Dave. I'm going to have to call you Vacation Dave from now on. Vacation Dave has joined us on the chat, and he's going to be silent. You about to get left, Dave.
Hold on.
You like nick of time.
Hold on.
Are you checking out the comments, Dave? What in the whole world, Dave? I really need to understand that.
I had to hit my intro.
Oh my God. This is what happened when people had the keys to the house.
I hit my intro.
So we're about to get out of here, Dave. But what did you think about some of the topics we had today?
I really didn't catch the end of the topics until like the last of them. Just started seeing me comment to be on there.
You a mess.
I've been busy today. I'm sorry.
So we talked about in nacho cheese.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about the jobs that offer paid training, remote positions that offer paid training, so you don't have that huge gap between knowing what your job is, being able to do it effectively in your first check. So I gave a couple of those options. And then in the beefy nacho, we talked about the systematic beef in this country with Black women. What is the beef with Black women? In the healthy or in the veggie nacho, we talked about the adverse effects of the Depo shot, the contraceptive birth control shot. And you were here for that. And you were also here for the Nacho Supreme, the power of words, power talk.
Mm-hmm.
So what are your thoughts on some of those things?
I mean, if you don't want kids and you're afraid of the side effects of the Depo shot, don't fuck raw. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Not everything that feels good is good for you, is what they say. You know what I mean?
Or as a man, I think that men initiate life when it comes to laying down with a woman. Yeah. And I think that when you have the option to take a safer reproductive choice, like maybe a condom or abstaining or whatever your other safety methods are, I think it's worth it to do that over some of these other hormone altering, blood chemistry altering options that women have to go through, as an act of love. Consider taking on the responsibility of making sure you guys are never out of condoms. Don't make her have to go get some experimental shot that has hauntingly similar responses or results and side effects as the ouchie. So that's my thoughts.
I'm not mad at that.
Look at Troy. You just gonna let that man pull up his intro on your show like that? Troy, if he didn't have the keys.
Hey, no, that's not what it, Troy, also I wanted that's what I wanted to let you know, because she multi-streams on 2 different YouTube channels. That's why you can't see all the comments. The comments that some of the comments that she's posting is on the other channel that she's streaming on. That's why. Got
it. Okay. Because I knew that used to happen to me sometimes when I would try to comment from the show. So yeah, it would be kind of weird where I couldn't see what everybody was saying. So I'm glad you clarified that and got that.
Yeah, but it should be like, because when you use StreamYard, it shows all the comments from both channels, from everywhere that that you're streaming from. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Just like, how when I use the OBS restream thing, it shows the comments from Discord, YouTube, and Kick. The same thing.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, all right, guys, we ain't gonna hang out too long. I wanted you to go ahead and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I thank you so much for pulling up to Nacho Sundays, where it's Nacho Opinion is Nacho's opinion. We are 2 separate episodes out from our 21st episode. So let me tell you why that is so significant to me. I am told that being able to, as a podcast, do 20 episodes, you are in the top tier of podcasts, as they never seem to reach doing 20 episodes. So it's going to be very special to me to make it to that level of podcasters. And I am going to do a celebration of such on the 21st episode of Nacho Sundays. So Nacho Sundays will be 21 episodes in. We'll be grown at 21.
Nachi doing a money giveaway on the 21st episode?
I don't know nothing about what Dave is talking about. We probably going to figure out a way to get Dave some more hair to fully load his afro. But we're not gonna miss out on the opportunity to celebrate. So make sure you guys pull up to Nacho Sundays 21st episode. This is episode 19, so there will be episode 20 and then episode 21. And as I have been telling you guys for the last couple of weeks, after the 21st episode, Nacho Sundays will be taking a well-deserved seasonal break. So please, by all means, binge watch all the episodes when I am on break for a few weeks, and then we will come back fresh and ready to bring you new topics and new toppings for our Nacho to devour. So I'm looking forward to it. Dave is enjoying his vacation, by the way. So if some of you guys have been like, hey, I tried to find that Wave and Blaze, and I don't know where Dave is.
No, I'm not on vacation. I'm not on vacation. It's just I've had to step away for a minute. That's all.
Okay, well, Dave is taking a sabbatical. And when he's back, please make sure that you pull up to Wave and Blaze Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 7 a.m. The awesomest morning show on the internet. And as always, make sure you are always pulling up to Nacho Sundays at 6 p.m. every Sunday. And let's not forget, please make sure that it's not too late for you guys to wish our very own EBL King the happiest of birthdays. He is turning 21 again. His birthday was yesterday. So if you run into him in those Twitter streets, YouTube streets, or whatever social media streets you happen to be in, make sure you give that man a happy birthday. And we are out. Peace, y'all. Dave, you gonna control the out or no? You just want your own. See, you can't. I see how it is, Dave. And then you gonna switch up. No, you done changed up my whole to everything. I see how it is. That's okay.
I thought you had. Look.
We appreciate everybody for stopping by. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And don't just watch the battle. Be part of the battle. All you got to do, look in the description, click the link to the Discord, be part of the audience live.
Dave gonna switch up the whole background, so I can't even figure out where my outro is. pulling up to cause chaos and havoc
Little
and
bit.
everything on Nacho Sundays.
A little bit.
See,
The outro
that's
right
why
there. You
it's
hit the
Nacho
outro
opinion.
already.
It's Nacho's opinion. That's exactly why. You don't know how to act. You don't know how to act at all. Can't